Hi there, my name is Morphsuit America. I do augments and affixes from base PSO2, and guess what? I'ma do New Genesis augmented affix. This isn't the official video where I'm going to be breaking down a bunch of stuff and saying, oh yeah, this is what you need to make note of and all that. This is actually my first time experimenting and seeing some stuff. Now, from what some people told me already about the system and how it works, I will be mentioning that. It's from what I heard from other people. And let's see if it's true and whatnot. I have a good chunk of Meseta I don't mind burning through. I may not use as much resources though, so I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm experimenting with this and seeing if it follows certain rules. So, big thing we're gonna be working with. We're working with this Silver Prim Sword. It's gonna be Fixa Fatal level 4. What I'm gonna do is most likely push it to level 30. I might want to try to push it to level 40, but it depends on the resources. Once again, I'm not gonna be spending as much. So, Silver Prim Sword. It doesn't have as many good abilities. To get started with the affix augmenting or adding special abilities, third option. When you do this, you get select the main piece you want to work with. I'm going to work with this piece over here with the preset ability. And when it comes to choosing what abilities you may want to go for, there's a video for that, upper right hand corner or in the description. And once again, I will be working on a video that goes into the technical speech and terminology and like talking about the actual function of this and things to note. But this is me experimenting and going through it for my first time. So this kind of sucks because back then in base PSO2, you can just choose certain equipment pieces that have the certain abilities that you would want. In New Genesis, that is not a thing. You would most likely have to select the capsules. Capsules are drops that you get from killing mobs and bosses. These capsules can be found in your material storage, or you can put it in your material storage if you have one. So, I have a bunch of these capsules over here. And from the looks of it, you can't choose any other ability unless you have the capsule for it. So this is Xperio 1 ability that comes along with these Prim Swords. There's an Xperio 2 ability that comes with the Gold Prim Sword. You can't get this unless there's a capsule for it. So this is like a built-in ability, built-in special ability. So you can't really deal with that. Preset abilities, they're kind of built in as well. You just gotta be lucky and hope that you got the right Fixa ability and then the right level for it. Granted that it depends on what level you're going for. So, you gotta select these capsules. Now you can do your math. If you select one of these capsules, it's gonna give you a certain percent. If you decide to max it out, or if you select up to 10, which is the max number to get the certain ability, you can see that it goes to 100%. Not all abilities will be at 100%. Example of this, Dreadkeeper 1 for example, it's not at 100%, it's 90%. Rule of thumb is this, if it's not at 100%, you're gambling. Doesn't matter if it's a high percent, it is a high percent, that's great, but you're gambling still. So be careful with that. If I were trying to go for this ability, you can see that it's only at an 8%. Max it out with like 10 capsules, it's only at 80. You can mix this up, so if I want to, I could do something like that and try to select all these abilities, but you would need to make note of the certain equipment piece you are working with. So, going back to some basic stuff. The equipment piece that I'm working with is this thing over here, and you can see that I can technically have 2 abilities. Some weapons will not have 2 abilities. You need to pay attention to this because this will play a factor into how many max abilities you can get. So you can see that the special abilities for this is empty, but it is technically a 2 slot. You can see it through here. Now, once again, the orange lit the box thing is a preset ability. It does not count like this. And then you also got to consider weapon potential and all that. From what I heard from other people, you would need to push this to higher enhancement levels to get it to a bigger up slot number or a bigger slot number. So right now, this is a 2 slot. For New Genesis, you need to enhance it so you can get it to add another slot and then another slot. As of this moment and as of this recording, the max actual number for limit breaking is a 40. Can't get any further than that. So most likely they will give you a slot when you hit maybe level 20 plus enhancement and then level 30 plus enhancement. Or you had to hit a very specific number, but still toying around with this, testing it, not doing as much. So with that out of the way, with the basics out of the way, once again, I'm just going to toy around with the third option for now and add an extra ability to this, so I know this is something I want to work with. Once again, when it comes to this, it looks like it's just capsules. You're using capsules, which I got mixed feelings about, but it is what it is. They changed it. They made it really fucking dummy easy. So, I'm just gonna put this. I could technically gamble and just use 5, get a 50%, see if it hits or miss. I could save 5 other capsules as well, but I don't really care about stamina, and it looks like I can get more of these. If there's an ability already, it looks like it will be able to transfer easily, but that might change depending on certain other abilities and how SEGA wants to implement certain rules and whatnot. So, as of this moment, if certain abilities are already on it, it is going to be at 100%, and I'll demonstrate that once we enhance this Silver Sword a bit further in terms of enhancement level. So, here you can select the certain support items. I'm not going to select anything because I don't... It's already at 100%. Like, why would I want to use it? So, 100% there. Now, once again, you can override some of these abilities. Like, if I wanted to, I got rid of the Asperio 1. I could put a Stamina 1 instead if I want to. Select that instead. Like, let me actually demonstrate that. I'm not going to go through with it, but if I go over here, do this, and hit the side, and then allow me to select all these things, you can see that I can select Spirito 1, Stamina 1, it's at 100% again, and then Asperio is, well, it's there, but like, I can delete it. But I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do now, enhance some stuff, going to try to push this to 30. However, to get it to go to 30 and then try to push it to the max enhancement level, you get a limit break it. So you would need to find the set equipment, and then you just need to read it. So it's going to eat up 30,000 of my Meseta to do this, and it's going to eat up 20 of the Dulamite. I have 668, I don't mind doing it. I doubt I'll push this to plus 40 though. If I want to try to push it to plus 40, I would need to use Tri-Knights, and then the cost of that is going to be 45,000 Meseta. But I'm not going to do that. Now for this recording and experimentation. So we're going to go over here, we're going to enhance it. Since it can go to plus 30, I can use as many resources that I want. I'm using, it goes up to 5 and it comes to the enhancement system. So I'm going to do that, do this. Do this. Now, you can see that when I hit plus 20, exactly, it was able to give me this. Or, all you need to do is just keep tabs of what it says here. With the grind level exceeding that of 20, the special ability slots were increased to 2 to 3. Now, that means this takes away the RNG BS that was in base PSO2, where it comes to you getting to a higher grade, you would need to have an ability there to push it. Not only that, there was something called an upslot penalty, or what I deemed it as upslot penalty, where it's if you go from a 2 slot to 3 slot, depending on how big it is, it will minus the actual percent. This is a guaranteed 100% that you're getting a 3 slot, or you're unlocking the next slot. So if I push this to, let's say, what is it, to plus 40, most likely it will be able to unlock another slot. So what happens if I decide to push this to plus 30? If I push this to plus 30 using these 5 swords here, let's see if it unlocks another slot. It didn't give me that notice, so it will be somewhere from 30 to 40, or most likely exactly at 40 to get the other slot. But now I have another slot that I can add, and as you can see in terms of enhancing it, I can't do anything else to it because I already hit the max level, which is kind of a good safety mechanic function. So if I go over here, let's say I want to try to get another stamina 1 on top of this sword. I can't select a stamina 1 anymore. It goes to the next grade, and then there's other capsules I can go for. So you can't really manipulate certain things. Now, one thing to note, let's say I do want to try to get a stamina 2 instead. You will see that you will overwrite that stamina. So if I try to select stamina 1 and then stamina 2, that does not apply. This still follows the same rule of thumb when it comes to the same name. You cannot go for the same, well, same name, same type. So for the same name, since there's stamina in this name, I can only go for the higher grade and only keep that 1 stamina. So I can't have a stamina 1 and a stamina 2. I can only go for that higher grade or whichever ability I want. So I'm gonna have to deal with something like that. But since we're experimenting and testing, Gotta take that off, and what we're gonna do is go for a different ability. If I want to, I can do this. And as you can see, Alpha Souls 1 is, what is it, 90%. I may not want to use that ability because I may need it. What I could use is these abilities. The shock. Shock would be nice. I have a lot of shock abilities, apparently. Could use a technique. I have a lot of... Actually, there's power ones and that. Let's use technique. I don't think I'll be going to the foresight as much. Let's gamble and see if 5 will work. So, if I decide to do something like this, I can select stamina 1, that, and that. And I could do this. I could still use a support item, but let's see if it succeeds. No, it does not work. So, let's gamble again. If it doesn't work, then I'll most likely use 5. Now, when it comes to gambling, it's entirely up to you to do this sort of approach, because you got to think about it in a very logistical way, or just be conscious of, like, do I really want to gamble at a 50% when I could go for 100%? 100% will be 10 capsules, right? 50% is 5 capsules. So I got 2 chances. I could at least try to stay 5 capsules in my first go, and not use as many capsules. Or I could just go for the full 10 and make sure it's a guarantee. It depends on how you want to do it, how you plan to gamble and all that. So let's do something like that. I am a bit curious about something. Hopefully you can succeed. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna continue burning through this. Now, Morph, you might be saying, Morph, that's not a good idea, but I do want to test something out. A certain theory about it. I do want it to succeed out of 50. I might be burning through this, but once again, these are grade 1s. I don't mind. I can farm for them. Now, you might be saying, Morph, well, what are you trying to test? What are you trying to theorize? Well, what happens if I made a successful affix augment at a certain percent? Will that actually leak over when you try to work with it again? So, going back over here, that thing succeeded at a 50%. So if I go over here and try to use, let's say, a spirit of 1 instead, and I go through this process here. So, plus side is that it's at 100%. And I think that will be it for my first testing, experimenting with this thing. I could see if certain abilities will do that as well to keep it at 100%. I feel like it will, especially since I gambled with a 50%, but it was able to do it. Granted that if you did max it out, it would be like that. I'm a bit curious to see if like some of the soul abilities will actually follow that same thing, but I think it will, because I guess another way for me to test this is to actually use said ability. Nexo, Pedaso, Dreadso. Do I really want to use it? Let's use this thing for example, because max percent is that. So if I go over here and I do something like this, maybe out of 10. I'll just keep a tech instead. So it's gonna tell me it's gonna delete something. I don't mind. Let's see. It succeeds. Now my question is, what happens if I go back over here and try to put... Let's do that. So, yeah, even though technically if you use the max amount of capsules with a soul ability, it's at 90%. What is it? 90%. When you do another transfer or put a new ability in there, it's going to be a guaranteed 100. They might change this rule later, but yeah, that is pretty much it. My opinions about this, it's goddamn easy. Like, how do you mess this up? What abilities to go for, that's something to note, but this is just a straightforward, simple method now. It took away a lot of other things you can do from base PSO2 in terms of augmenting and fixing. How do I personally feel about it? It's stupid easy. I don't think I will be fleshing this out as much until something interesting breaks the certain rules and patterns. This is really dummy fucking easy. Like, it is really stupid easy. I'm sitting here just saying, there's no challenge to this. So most likely what I'll be doing in terms of challenging myself in PSO2 NGS now is just getting used to boss mechanics, actually doing a lot better with timing stuff and working a lot more with the classes. In terms of the technical things and talking about with the affixed augment system now, this is a fucking joke. I'm a bit disheartened with that. It's really stupid. It's really easy, but there's no flexibility in terms of using other equipment pieces. They might change that later. I don't know. It's still early too, but it is stupid fucking easy. Anyways, now I'm trying to calm myself because I am gonna blow up, but that is it for this video. First time toying around with it, hearing all these certain concepts and things, and then testing it out. Yeah, I just don't know. I really don't know about how I feel about this system. It is straightforward easy. Like, most likely the game guide is gonna tell you all the basic stuff, and you toy around with it, you'll realize it is that dummy easy. Let me see. Let's check the game guide and see if it explains the goddamn system well. No, upgrading equipment, adding special abilities. It has 3 page worth. It says that doesn't really state some of the very specific details, like 10 capsules is your max, and then like how the abilities are at 100% guaranteed, and then what is it, getting more slots because you enhance stuff. Might be explained in some other mechanic in that game guide, but that's it for this video. So let me know your question, comments, concerns. But yeah, that's it. Peace.